Hi, welcome to Parent Alienation is Child Abuse Unfiltered. Thank you all for being here today and welcome to the new subscribers. I thank you all and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to do a quick discussion about the ripple effect and repercussions of being exposed to a narcissist due to relationships, and how do you move forward to have a new relationship. Now, we'll start this as it does it because it's not a gender specific thing. All my subjects on this channel are not gender specific because it happens on both sides of the field. There's just as many narcissistic men out there and just as many narcissistic women out there, and I've had the unfortunate pleasure or grief of having to deal with both. So I'm pretty well rounded about what I talk about. And everybody's story is different, but their characteristics and mannerisms are much the same. Now we'll go into a relationship where things are rosy and sweet and everything works out fine. They've only just not long met each other. And within a few weeks they want to move in with each other. They're having intimate relations. And then there's talk of marriage. Let's get married. Yeah, that'd be great. And then, oh my gosh, found out I'm pregnant. But that's okay, we're going to get married anyway, and we're so happy and so in love. That's how the relationship rolls along. And then sometimes before the child's born, sometimes it's after the child's born, ripples start showing in the relationship. Cracks start appearing. That person, be it the male or the female, isn't the person you thought they were. Some aspects they could be controlling. Just very moody sometimes. Or it could be something else that's just, they're just really messy, won't pick up after themselves or won't help around the house or, constantly criticise for what you're doing. There's lots of different ways relationships starts to crumble. But it's different when you have a child, because then it's not just two adults dealing with an issue. You throw a child into the middle of that and it's no longer about you guys. So what happens when further down the track and you find out that things aren't working out, but there's a baby on its way? How have you discussed the chances of co-parenting and how that's going to go? Have you discussed the how we're going to raise that child together? How you're going to do that? Because sometimes these things aren't discussed because these people don't know each other properly. They don't know each other, so they don't know how one person's going to react to a screaming baby through the night, off and on. And if you've got children, when they come home, they're a little bit demanding, and that's normal. That's normal, but some people can't handle that. Some people can't handle the fact that a baby takes up your time. That causes jealousy, resentment. So there's lots of reasons things can start to fall apart. But what happens when that happens, when you decide that this is no longer to work and now we have a child? If you're mature, then you'll co-parent together. But a lot of the cases I've heard about, this doesn't happen. One of the people don't take the relationship breakdown as well as the other person and not happy to move on and just co-parent the child that they've created together. What they do is turn bitter and horrible and try to inflict as much hurt and as much pain on that other person as much as they can, be it the mother, be it the father. Again, as I said, it's not gender specific. It's just narcissistic people. Then there's the ones that hunt out people. They hunt out people that own stuff, that they could get something out of them. Somebody who owns a house. Somebody who owns property. Somebody who looks like they're doing pretty well with their jobs. Yeah, it could be anything like that for these, gold diggers, I suppose you could call them. They hunt people out, be it the male, be it the female, and try to entrap them or try to start a relationship with them. But in the end, they kind of only want what they can take from these people. And the way that they can entrap them is, one, get them pregnant. Or two, talk of marriage really early, get married. Because what happens when you're married and relationships break down? Whatever you own isn't yours anymore. I don't know what the time frame is of how long you have to be with that person to be classed as I'm taking half of what you got kind of a person. But there's quite a few of those people out there. They rush out, they get married. Because marriage is like a lock and key into, okay, now that's half mine. And then they have a child on top of that because that's the clincher. Yeah, you can use that child as a ploy to draw as much money as I can out of that particular person. Make demands of having to have more money for schooling, for their travel expenses, their uniforms, because one person's doing a bit better than the other person and one person feels entitled. But then it comes to a time when even after years, these people don't let up. Even after years, they're still trying to milk you dry. They take you to court to try to see a child that you're not really interested in being part of the life anyway. You pretty well gave up that when you walked out the door, but using it as a ploy to stay financially all right. Now, some people are well enough off that they try to keep the peace. Well, they'll offer to, okay, I've seen you've moved out and you haven't got anywhere to go. I'll pay for your rent wherever you can set up until you get on your feet properly. You know, some people are kind enough to do that. These people love those people. And that can happen for a long period of time until after, say, months or years, however willing this person is to pay the expenses of this other person, then pull a pin on that because they've moved on with their life and would have expected their ex to do the same thing. But no, you've got a child with that person. So, and I was married to you. Oh, I think I'll take half of what you own. I'll make you sell your property, make you sell your house. Make you sell your car, that your really expensive car you got. Yeah, you can afford to pay me half of what you own. We were married. I'm entitled to half. Law says so. Yeah, there's people like that. It's another of the reasons I say about education, about not rushing into relationships, about being educated, because it's not just narcissism on a level where they abuse you psychologically, mentally, physically. They'll milk you dry too. They'll take you to court for you to fight to see your child, because in their eyes you can afford to do that. Then they'll claim that they're a victim, or cry victim, I should say. They cry victim so that they've got nowhere to go. So then you offer, because if you're in that position where you are financially okay, and you offer to pay their rent so they can get on their feet. But then they start to take advantage of that too. But the clincher is after, years, they turn around and say, well, now I'm going to take half. And in the law's eyes, they're entitled to do that. So please take this as a warning. Don't rush out. And I say it in all my videos, don't rush out and have a baby. Don't have a child. Don't rush out and marry the first person that comes along and whispers sweet nothings in your ears, promises you the world at your feet. Don't rush out and get married straight away, because if they're serious about wanting to have that relationship with you and serious about having a child and raising that child correctly so it goes forth and be a productive, happy member of society, then there's no rush. Take your time. Get to know each other. Best to know each other and, find out there's hiccups there and see if they can be worked out before you rush and have to be committed to this person for the rest of your life, because you've decided to bring a child into the world when you weren't ready to actually stay with the person you're with, because you didn't know who they were. Just take your time. And then you'll be happier in the end, because there's no fighting over a child. No fighting over the property that you owned or a house you owned before that person stepped into your life. Yeah, they can do quite a lot of damage, so you need to be aware, and you need to know these things happen. I can count on one hand. No, I could probably nearly get them on two hands, the amount of people that I've heard go through this situation. There's not a damn thing they can do about it. Lost everything they owned. Sad. So just take your time. Get to know your people who you're connected to. As I say, again, it's not gender specific. It can be a male, can be a female. Both works on both sides of the field. Anyway, just wanted to do that quick video today, because that's just another side of the parent alienation, where they don't just take your child as collateral damage. They will also make you sell your house and your property and everything else underneath your feet, even if they don't have that child in their life, or don't even pay maintenance for them. Yeah, it's funny how these people feel entitled. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. My next video, I'm going to do a bit more of a chat about the ripple effect of being exposed to a narcissist, and how the next relationship after that goes. How you build trust with a new person. All right, guys, take it easy. I'll see you in my next one. See ya.